Today, we have David Mitchell with MetTel to discuss providing a single source for a customized, fully managed solution. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me for the next 30 minutes. Hopefully, you find it worthwhile. First, let me introduce myself. My name is David Mitchell. I'm Vice President of Channel Sales at MetTel. I've been at MetTel since 1996, so my entire telecom career has been at MetTel. I've held various roles from provisioning to repair, installation, various other operational roles. I moved into the sales role about 10 years ago. So I've been doing this for quite some time. Um, we have a regional channel director that is starting on tomorrow, actually. Some of you may know Kalanji. He was our person. He was based in Cincinnati. And our new guy that we're going to have for you is a guy named Brian, and he is based in Indiana. So he'll be covering the Ohio Valley and your territory. What I wanted to do was keep this pretty simple and start talking about a few things that we have going on that I think are important with regards to some promotions that we're running on some of our products. And then once I go through those promotions, we'll spend a few minutes talking about MetTel and some of those products that we talked about from the promotion. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. You should be able to see uh, the promo up there, and it says I'm sharing. If somebody can verify it's there, that'd be great. Um,
Yeah, I can see it.
Great,
Okay.
perfect. So the first promotion I want to talk about is our POTS replacement solution. First, I'll talk about the commissions, and then I'll talk about what this is really for. So we're going to be paying 300% upfront commission on the line rates. And the line rates are set by you anywhere from $29.99 as a standard base or minimum rate. And our regular rate, our highest rate goes up to $49.99. And those go in $5 increments. So if you want to do $44.99 or $39.99, that's up to you. The upfront is paid on the line rate. And then there's also an increased residual commission, which is 18% on the line rate that you sell. So for every POTS line that you put in there, you'll notice this device over here. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it's got 8 ports. So this 8 lines that you would have there, or 3 or 5, however many you need, those lines at whatever rate you sell are going to pay 300% upfront and 18% residual. The other thing that's exciting about this is the 50% of activation fee. We normally charge a $200 activation fee, which outside of the promotion would not be commissionable. However, and this activation fee is per device, $200 per device. So normally that would not be commissionable, but you're going to be able to keep 50% of the activation fee. And again, you have the ability to set that activation fee. If you want to make it less expensive to the customer and make it $100, you would get $50. If you want to make it more expensive for the customer and do $400 activation fee, you would keep $200. So that's all up to you. And that comes with a 3-year deal. So where is POTS replacement important? Most customers have moved their voice services to a IP, voice over IP solution, but what's been left behind are the burglar panels, fire panels, elevator lines, various other POTS use cases that are out there. We have a lot of customers that have multiple locations, and this POTS replacement is a good solution for them. The other thing you should know is POTS rates are going up dramatically, and they're not being serviced by the underlying carriers. So if you have a repair, it may not ever get fixed. If you need a new POTS line for a burglar panel at a new building, you may never get one. AT&T is actually decommissioning their POTS network as we speak. The first batch of central offices that are being completely shut down are starting in June, and people are going to start losing service. So you're going to have customers call up and say, "Hey, my burglar panel's not working. those customers need to get POTS replacement, and this is the solution for them. So that's the POTS in a Box commission promo that we're running. We're also running a new logo promo, and I don't have a flyer for that because it's all terms and conditions. But the new logo promo, and this is separate from the POTS in a Box promo, the new logo promo is going to pay 100% of commissionable revenue sold on any new logo that you sell between now and the end of the year. And the only thing you need to qualify is to sell in aggregate for your entire company across all your salespeople $10,000 in sales. It doesn't have to be one customer at $10,000. It could be 5 customers at $2,000 or any combination thereof. And at the end of the year, we will take whatever that commissionable revenue is, and we will make a one-time payment to the organization through the TSDs that you book the business through. So that's a separate commission. The POTS replacement upfront is actually excluded from that because we're paying you 300% upfront on that. But anything else you sell, Starlink, network services, any products that we provide, wireless, mobility, cellular services, those all would qualify for that extra bonus. And then the last promo that I'm going to be talking about is our connected laptop as a service. So you may know that MetTel is a very big player in the mobility space. We have a 100,000 square foot warehouse that we provide, Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile service, and we provide Apple devices, iPhones, iPads, Samsung devices. We have a direct agreement with Apple and Samsung, so they ship us pallets of iPhones. When the iPhone 18 comes out, we'll get a bunch of pallets of iPhone 18s before the release date. They'll sit in our warehouse for a couple of weeks, and then we'll start shipping them on the release date. So we have those direct agreements with those providers. What came out of providing the mobility for our customers is customers said to us, we hire a new employee and we get a MetTel cell phone from them. In 2 days, it arrives on our door and they're all set. But my IT department can't get the laptops out to them for 2 or 3 weeks. And I need to have a solution for that. So what we did was we built this connected laptop as a service. This laptop comes with a single SIM, which is a SIM that MetTel provides that has all the carriers in the US, including even US Cellular. So as you're driving down the road, your AT&T coverage drops, it looks around, it finds Verizon's available, and it connects to Verizon. So it will connect to all the carriers, and when it loses that connectivity because of coverage issues, it will find one other carrier to choose in the hunt sequence. So this gives you basically a private connection from the laptop into whatever the customer has set up for them. We're going to kit and configure the laptop. We will image it. We provide Dell and Lenovo laptops. Apple doesn't have a SIM functioning or SIM capable laptop. When they do, we will provide Apple's as well. But for most customers, the Dell and Lenovo covers whatever they need. Sometimes customers will say, hey, I have HP, and you talk to them for 5 minutes and they realize this is great. I don't really need HP. It's all the same. They're all Windows machines, so on and so forth. The thing that you should know about this as well is that our solution, and I'll send this out to everybody, our solution is based on a OpEx model. So usually customers will buy 500 laptops at the beginning of the year. They'll purchase them from CDW or whoever. The IT staff will configure them and give them out to employees as they're needed. And if they have 100 left over because they bought more than they expected, they've got 100 laptops that are a year old that nobody wants. Or if they needed 600 and they're 100 short, they're going to have to make another purchase order. With our solution, you order them as you need them, and they'll arrive ready to go out of the box. And it's based on an OpEx model. So it's a cheaper cost of ownership over time. when we do a quote, we'll give you what the TCO is of that laptop, and you'll see that it's pretty much in line with what the cost would be if you were to purchase it on your own. So we're very excited about this offering, and this offering also comes with a promo. Once you've sold as an organization, again, in aggregate across all your sales people, once you've sold 1,000 laptops, you will get a bonus for $10,000. So once you hit that number, we will be issuing a check for 10 grand for you guys. So those are the promos that I wanted to discuss today. I usually say, does anybody have any questions? But I was told we're doing that at the end. So I'm just going to then keep talking, and I'm going to talk about MetTel in general. So MetTel was founded in 1996. I started in 1996. We've got 5,000 different customers across our government and corporate clients. Our government contract is based on a RFP that we had to respond to several years ago. It's called the EIS contract, and we've already been awarded $2.5 billion worth of government contracts through that award. We've had 20 plus years of double-digit growth, and this, to me, the next one is the most important. Our average customer is with us for 9.5 years. So when you bring a customer to MetTel, it's a 3-year contract. Chances are they're going to renew at least 3 times, which really builds up that residual commission. The other thing that I also like to point out is that our customers buy additional products and services from us, not just growth on what they buy originally. So, for example, you buy mobility from MetTel, you're going to also end up buying, network or SD-WAN or some other product that we provide. In fact, 60% of our sales on an annual basis come from upsells from existing customers. We've been in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for 5 years in a row. We're considered a visionary at this point in the Gartner world. If you have customers that subscribe to Gartner, we can give you the Gartner identifying number that they can go search in the Gartner tool and find the reports on MetTel. We also have some shortened reports that we can share out. We have 24-hour customer care based in the United States in our call centers that we have in Salt Lake City, Utah, New York City, and our New Jersey office. And we have a 100,000 square foot warehouse in our Long Island City location. We're opening an additional 100,000 square foot warehouse in the third quarter of this year in Salt Lake City, which will be able to service our West Coast customers. We'll have a little extra time for the FedEx. Right now, our cutoff is 2 o'clock Eastern. It will be 2 o'clock Mountain when we open up that West Coast office to ship anywhere. We have 20 POPs across the country. We have our own network, which we can go into in a deeper dive at some point. Usually when we sell network services, we have a solution engineer taking the customer through what our network looks like. We have solution architects for mobility as well. You don't really even need to know the MetTel product offering. You just need to recognize an opportunity and send it our way, and we'll help you sell it, help you close it, and our engineering staff will be there to help you through that process. I said before, we have the 24-hour care. We have 3 NOCs in our New Jersey, New York, and Utah office. And then we also have a customer advisory board that we've been doing for 11 years where we bring our customers in and go through what their needs are. In fact, like I said, Connected Laptop as a Service is a product of that, where customers tell us, hey, this is what we need, and we figure out a way to deliver it to them. What's very important to the agent community, in my view, is growing and protecting your revenue. And the way we do that is through a lot of the different things that you see here. We have a very broad portfolio of products. So when you bring us into a customer for whatever service you sell them, we're going to protect that revenue because we do a good job operationally, and we're going to grow that revenue because we're going to bring in additional products and services. I have had many occasions where customers were brought into a call with a customer, and it's for, a $5,000 hosted solution. And we walk out of there with a additional network services, SD-WAN, and mobility. And it turns from a $5,000 sale to a $25,000 sale. This happens all the time. So we're going to help you grow your revenue and the customers that you bring to us. Our support's great. We have our engineers that will help you sell in the sales process. Implementation is also very important. I always say to customers, the price on the page is whatever that is, but you're not going to save that money, or in your case, you're not going to earn that commission until it's implemented. With our implementation team that we have, we do things like we installed 17,000 locations for the U.S. Post Office in 9 months. 17,000 locations, we completed a POTS replacement solution in 9 months. We scale and we are very quick to implement. I want to talk about a little bit about a few different products. I mentioned POTS transformation. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Starlink. We are Starlink's first authorized reseller. We've been providing Starlink to the federal government now for 6 years. You now know that Starlink is out in the commercial space. I would argue that our Starlink implementation is the best in the business. And I will tell you that whenever you solve for a customer by providing Starlink, they're going to be very happy with you, and they're going to open up to more services that you can provide for them. Because if you're buying Starlink, it's because you need it. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You have bad coverage. You need good backup service. Whatever the story is, if you're buying Starlink, you're solving a very big problem for a customer. I mentioned mobility. I do want to just talk about it a little bit. Our mobility solution is AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. We are AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile's largest wholesale provider. We are going to kit, configure, ship, and deliver the phones to the end users directly. IT doesn't have to be involved. Our cell phone solution is both a service savings play and a service management play. So the larger the customer, the more difficult it is to manage a mobile environment. And MetTel's mobile device as a service is something that many large customers really appreciate. And then SASE, SD-WAN, that is the last topic that we're going to talk about. We provide VeloCloud. We do Fortinet Cloud Firewall, Netscope. We combine all these products. It's all cloud-based, and it allows a customer to manage their whole environment all in one place. I am out of time for our 10-minute Q&A. Do we have any questions to go through?
Yeah, we do. Our first question is, can agents sell into government entities?
Yes, we do a lot of SLED services. That's state, local, and education. We are on certain state contracts, such as like Utah. We also have federal contracts, but I will tell you, I would probably stay away from the federal space because we do have a federal team, and if our federal team is working on something, they have precedent. So I would say the agent space is in the state, local, and education space, and we do a lot of business in that area.
Our next question is, when a customer says we're fine with our current provider, what questions should we ask to uncover hidden challenges?
That's a very good question, and that's something that I think would apply. The answer depends on what their products that we're talking to them about are. In the network space, my questions would be, how many sites do you have? Do you know who your underlying carrier is at every location? If you have an outage, do you know who to call? If you open a new location, do you know how to call? And you can come to Claris TDM to help you with that process. Managing the service is, to me, much more important than the price. Now, customers sometimes disagree, but what I'll tell you is the larger the customer, the more management matters to them. So pricing is always important. They're not going to go on and take somebody that's more expensive, and we're going to be in the ballpark with all of our competitors. We're probably going to save them money off the ILEX or the incumbents. But in general, our solutions are going to be cost effective and save the customer money. What really differentiates MetTel is our ability to execute and our ability to deliver a full managed solution that allows them to go about their business as opposed to managing the day-to-day operations of their IT organization.
Great. And next question is, can a customer choose, and I'm not sure how you say it, it's CLAAS as
Yep.
Apex?
Can a customer choose class connected laptop as a service? I missed the last part.
Oh, can a customer choose class as CAPEX? Is that how you say it? CAPEX?
CapEx, yes, they
CAPEX,
can.
sorry.
Yes, they can choose. We generally do OpEx, but if customers want to do CapEx because they want to depreciate the cost of that, we can do that. And what we'll do is we'll give them, basically, we'll give them a discount on the lease payments times 36, and that will be their CapEx number.
Okay, how are customers approaching SASE and security differently than they were 2 years ago?
Well, there's a lot of different areas. I would say probably the biggest move has been to the cloud. And I'd say maybe even longer than 2 years ago, people used to have a lot of on-prem firewalls for multi-locations. I remember when I sold Wendy's originally, they had their Fortinet firewall standing, attached above the drive-through takeout window, which I thought was weird. So moving into the cloud is one of the areas, and I think that the products are a lot different now. They do a lot more. What I really like about our VeloCloud solution is that it does forward error correction. So even on a single circuit, you're going to be getting a better experience. And I don't want to get too much into the engineering on that, but we can have a separate call for anybody that's interested. Please reach out and I can get an engineer and talk those details through with you.
Who are you most commonly competing against, and where do you consistently win?
It depends on the product, and I'll answer that based on product. So in POTS replacement, we're up against UMA and Granite most of the time. I'd say with UMA, we tend to win on the larger deployments. UMA is much more on a smaller scale deployment, from my experience. We win a lot of Granite business that they went out and tried to install, alarms or burglar alarms, and they don't seem to work as well on their Epic platform. So, Dick's Sporting Goods, J.C. Penney, they were Granite customers. They tried it out, didn't work, and it works on our platform. So, in the POTS replacement world, that's who I would say. In mobility, we're only up against the incumbents. I very rarely come against other wireless resellers. There are a couple out there, but most of the time I'm competing against AT&T and Verizon. Usually when you're quoting AT&T and Verizon, the IT staff is really gung-ho about the whole MDAS solution. And then the finance guys say, go call AT&T and ask them to see if they can crunch numbers and get down to the MetTel rate. So that's what happens, or what we compete against in mobility. And then on the network side, the usual suspects in terms of the aggregators will go up against AirSpring and Granite on opportunities. Where we win is our solution. I think when we go into the orchestrator and show them how this whole thing works, and then our Bruin portal is a really big differentiator for us. The Bruin portal is our client management software. It allows customers to place orders, open trouble tickets, view their invoice information, various other things. And our portal, I would argue, and based on customer feedback, is better than anything in the business.
Okay, what investments are MetTel making over the next 12 to 24 months in personnel?
Personnel is very important to us. I mentioned our 24-hour care. We have like 9 channel managers across the footprint. So from a sales perspective, we do a lot with a little. That's not the case with our operations team. Our operations team we have about 500 employees as a company. We are growing as with staff. We opened an additional space in our corporate headquarters. We basically doubled the size of our corporate office in New York City. Our largest footprint of people is our care group out in Salt Lake City. We have a lot of IT programmers that are running our Bruin portal. So expanding our staff is something we continue to do on the operations side a great deal.
What is the average savings for wireless service?
Usually we'll save customers around 10 to 15%. I've seen it in the 25-30%. It depends on what the customer's plans are and how they're optimized. A lot of times customers have older unlimited plans, which are in the $40 range. Other customers that don't have unlimited, they have the wrong size data pool. So they're either paying too much for more data than they need, or they're paying too little for less data than they need, and then they get whacked with overages. As I said, mobility is partially a savings play, but mostly a management of their environment play. But we'll definitely save customers money on their mobility spend.
MetTel is well known in mobility. What mobility opportunities are often overlooked by advisors?
I think fleet management is one of those things that's out there that many people don't think to ask about. But I'll also tell you this: each one of you salespeople on the call and sales executives on the call, think about what your commissionable revenue is on your base of existing customers. And I don't care if that number is $100,000 for you individually as a sales contributor, or $1 million, or $10 million, or $100 million as an organization. Whatever your total commissionable revenue is across all your carriers, you have that much commissionable revenue sitting out there on your existing base of customers. So you should go and ask all of your customers, do you pay for your corporate cell phone bills for your employees? And if the answer is yes, then you can be confident that whatever that cell phone bill is, it's equal to whatever else you've already sold that customer. If they're a $100,000 network customer, there's a $100,000 cell phone bill. If they're a $5,000 network customer, there's a $5,000 bill or more.
What are the biggest wireless cost optimization opportunities you see today?
In mobility, usually what we do is we look at the entire environment based on the amount of users they're using, the plans that they're on, and what their underlying contractual obligations are, either through early termination fees or financed equipment. And what we'll do is we'll go in there, we'll figure out what plan we can charge for them to make money for us and to make money for you, and save the customer money. Usually, not usually. In all cases, we will eat or cover the cost of early termination fees, and we will also refinance the cost of their equipment that they're paying for. So it's a combination of a few different areas, but all that together gets them to that savings number that I quoted before.
Can a customer move from Verizon to MetTel without leaving Verizon?
Actually, they are on Verizon's network, or AT&T's network, or T-Mobile's. So what happens when you switch from, for example, AT&T? It's a billing change. There's no change in anything. The end user doesn't have to do anything at all. On Verizon and T-Mobile, the way the wholesale program works with those two carriers is you're going to get a push notification for activating on MetTel's Verizon wholesale platform, or T-Mobile's MetTel's T-Mobile wholesale platform. But you're still on the underlying carrier. You're still on the same priority. This is not Cricket Wireless. We're providing wireless services to the federal government, and we're on the top priority networks that AT&T and Verizon have.
There are many suppliers selling Starlink. What should we remember about MetTel that makes them different?
Well, the thing that I would say is the biggest differentiator is our portal. And when customers have Starlink today, and by the way, we can migrate existing Starlink. When customers have Starlink today, they usually have one portal login per dish. and they have to look at each one individually. MetTel's portal allows visibility into every single Starlink, all of them at the same time. You can click on any one of them, drill down to the site, get statistics on the usage and all kinds of neat stuff. Starlink requires that every carrier charge the exact same rate as Starlink retail. So there's going to be no price differential between what a customer buys versus what a customer with me versus another reseller. You may have a quote that's done differently, so they may put a 50 gig plan on instead of a 500 gig plan, but the plan line items themselves are all the same.
Does your wireless offering cover international customers in Europe, Canada?
We offer cell phone service and data only service domestically. We offer data only service in Canada through TELUS and Bell Canada. And we have our single SIM for data only, which works all over the globe, 186 countries. We do not provide any cell phone service anywhere other than the US.
Why have we seen so much turnover with our channel managers from MetTel?
Well, we didn't. We were very sad to lose Jeff. I think covered you before. He wanted to switch jobs, so he was doing great. We were very bummed out by his departure. We like Jeff a lot, and I'm still in touch with him. With Klanji, we felt we needed to go in a different direction with this new guy. Hopefully, you'll like him a lot. But the territory has, been something that we've had some turnover with. It's unfortunate. We don't want to have turnover. We want you guys to build long-standing relationships with our people. Most of our channel directors have been at MetTel for more than 10 years, but we've just had some changes in your territory. We don't want to change. We don't want to be turning over our sales staff. We want you guys to build good relationships with us.
And our last question is, how do we sell against companies with the BYOD mentality due to past headaches?
On mobility, that's a very good question. And what I would suggest is don't fight the uphill battle. If you have a customer that's saying, I'm thinking about going from BYOD to corporate liable, then go ahead and let's engage with that customer. But if they say, I went BYOD because I couldn't manage the cell phones, you're probably not going to get them to manage cell phones, and call somebody else who has a mobility platform that the customer is responsible for. I like to fight the good fight, but it's time better spent with customers that are a better target for you, to be honest. Please don't hesitate to reach out directly if you have any questions.